Happy Canada Day to everyone. I hope you had a good one. Guess what happened yesterday on Canada Day? The new Pfizer documents were released, and I downloaded all of them. Normally I just download a few and read through them and stuff like that, but I downloaded all of them so I can kind of cycle through them a lot faster than waiting for them to all download. I found some interesting things. So let's get into it. Gotcha. So yeah, my intros I'm gonna do at the end because it just makes more sense. I was just doing them in between, do like kind of like the hooker and then the meat of the situation. Anyways, long story short, so these Pfizer documents were kind of interesting. Like I've sort of read through like a lot of them in the past. But the one that I found interesting this time was the efficacy data that they were using for, the vaccine and whether there'd be another booster needed and stuff like that. And it was quite interesting in the sense that, one, when they knew that they'd be needing a booster, so, the 6 months later they do the serology test, that was in January of 2021. And if you remember, the vaccines came out before January 2021. And then this document wasn't actually finalized until April of 2021. So that means that lots of people have already gotten their vaccine before they even knew how long it was going to last. And they didn't, at that point, when it came out, people were already going to be, losing their efficacy pretty soon afterwards, right? So only 2 more months. And they didn't have any boosters at the time and stuff like that. So that's sort of like a failure of the trial system, if you ask me, because the trial system is supposed to be, to figure all that stuff out. Now, I understand some people are going to be like, hey, we needed the vaccines, yada, yada. But this is just an investigation into this one document, and there's a little more information into it. This video will get a little long. I apologize for that. So in the data, right, this was the first trial. It's not even the second trial or anything like that. This is the first trial that they did. It was about 100 or so people, and so it had this person, and then it had 4 different serology tests that they did. Pre-vaccination, first dose vaccination, second dose vaccination, and 6 months after second dose vaccination. And that all took, but like the first and second dose took place between July and September of 2020. And quite a while ago. And so they used this data, or maybe it was the second one. Anyways, regardless. So the first one, the pre-vax, would always be the number 10, right? Now, I looked into this, so I kind of understand that when the number gets bigger, that's a good thing. When the number gets smaller, it's not a good thing. And that's what I saw in the documents. So essentially, the number would be whatever number for the second one. It ranged between people. And so that's also another issue, is that the vaccine didn't necessarily work well for some people, right? Some people went from 10 to 80. And for other people, for the first dose, it went from 10 to like 1800, right? So it was interesting to see those numbers fluctuate so drastically. And then for the second dose, it always, almost always, I think, at least doubled that number or tripled or quadrupled. And in some cases, it went up by like 20,000. And then when you get to the 6-month mark for the serology test, it dropped drastically, either down below the first dose or right around the first dose. So that's what they're not telling you. They're not telling you that at 6 months your efficacy is actually worse than your first dose, is what they're not saying. They're just saying the efficacy wanes and all that fun stuff. But these Pfizer documents really do show that when the vaccine was coming out, they didn't know how fast it was going to drop off. They just kept telling you it was safe and stuff like that. That's fine. And, it wasn't until, I think, June, so 2 months after this data was finalized and whether it was released right away, that anyone started talking about vaccine efficacy waning, right? So this is just stuff I want to bring out to you. I have the document, so people are interested. I don't know how to share it. I was thinking about doing a Discord, but you let me know. And I can share the ones that I thought was interesting.